I'm James from Output Magazine, and I'm lucky to be here at Sign Digital UK with Arthur Vanhoutte, who is the president of Mutoh Belgium. I hope you're having a good show, Arthur.
Well, yes, it's a very, very interesting show. I really enjoyed it.
Excellent. I just wanted to take this opportunity to ask you a few questions. There have been some big changes at Mutoh over the last year. But let's start with the big news at the show, which is the launch of the 1638 TD. What does this printer offer that others in the range don't have?
Well, this is the first machine on the market with staggered heads. That means we doubled the number of heads, and we were able to double the throughput on the machine, keeping the excellent quality we have in all the other products. So it's a machine offering excellent quality at double speed. And throughput becomes more and more important in the market.
Yeah. And have you sold any units at the show?
Yes, we got several orders, which is a surprise to me because it has been a couple of years that we got orders at an exhibition. So that means things are improving, the economy is improving.
Absolutely. I hear that people come here ready to spend money and do business, and that, you know, obviously that has its ramifications on price and everything because they're ordering at the show. It's good to know that Mutoh's restructuring last year hasn't affected perceptions in this market. I wondered if you could just talk us through the restructure.
Yes. Well, the reason for restructuring is mainly to improve the efficiency. As you know, we had two factories, one in Japan and one in Belgium. That meant we had to split our quantities over two facilities. Now we have to realize that the labor content of a printer has been going down dramatically in the last 5-6 years. It takes today about 6-7 hours to make a printer. It used to be 30-40 hours. That means we had a capacity in Japan twice of our production volumes. We had a capacity in Belgium twice our production volumes. So it didn't make sense to keep two factories when you can do everything in one facility a lot more efficient. And that's the main reason.
Which makes sense from a business perspective. Speaking of which, I know that today is the Mutoh year end, isn't it?
Yeah, today actually. Yes.
Actually today. How are your financial results looking?
Okay, not taking into account, of course, the restructuring cost. We still are very profitable, and we made the year end is with quite a good profit. And the result, turnover-wise, of course, as you have to realize, we lost about 30% business in 2008. But finally, we are back to the level of 2008, or just before 2008. So we can be happy because we were growing about 30% in the last 1.5 years.
That's a good operating profit and a good, good growth of turnover. I know that that some of the manufacturers who are based in Japan last year were affected by the earthquake, of course, in terms of parts and supply and therefore the repercussions on service. Has that affected Mutoh in any way?
Very little, because our facility is located quite a distance from the earthquake center. However, we had some subcontractors with problems for delivery of parts. But luckily, we have quite a buffer stock in Belgium. So we were able, through the buffer stock, to keep the delivery as usual.
Okay, that's good news for Mutoh users. I know that Mutoh is also a founding partner of EcoPrint, the new sustainability-based print fair that's happening in September in Berlin. Yes. I wanted to know, in the context of being one of the leading supporters of it, what topics or challenges do you think this show should be addressing for sign and graphics people?
First of all, the exhibitors at this show have to be honest when they speak about green. And furthermore, we have to show the total picture. Because it doesn't make sense just to speak about one ink or one media. Everything, energy consumption, everything has to be taken into account. And that's what we do. Don't forget, Mutoh was the pioneer with eco inks. We have been a strong believer in eco for years, and we continue doing that. So we are a big supporter of EcoPrint.
Whenever I've spoken to yourself and to Nick de Kock, who's the marketing manager at Mutoh Belgium, I know that Mutoh has a particular way of looking at print life cycle, for looking at it from beginning to end, rather than just talking about the specific technology that's being used to print. But I did want to ask, with the green thing in mind, what's happened to the Mutoh's biolactite inks? Are they still on the market?
Yeah, they're still on the market. We're even working on a second generation because inks have to improve constantly. And we are planning to introduce a new version called the MP11, at the Drupa show in about 1 month. But this program definitely continues.
Excellent. You heard it here first. Arthur, thank you very much for talking to Output Magazine.
My pleasure. Thank you.
I'm sure we'll speak again soon.
Thank you.